Alright, I'm Sovereign Sage, so this is taking forever. Um, I had did 6 parts before this, trying to do the story quest, and we're still not done. Another thing that sucks is, I got really tired, it was already like 7 in the morning, and I had spent literally all night, for 6 hours straight, doing the other parts that I had just did. And, like I said, we're nowhere near done. It's also cold in my house, but if I have to put a jacket on, I might screw up my mic. But I think I'm gonna have to put it on anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably disconnect my mic for a moment. Yeah. Yeah, you could probably hear me plugging it in and out. So I have it face down right now. So you probably can't hear what I'm saying. But basically, this is taking me too long to finish. I also don't know what's wrong, but my damn arm keeps itching. I haven't been around anything, and I haven't touched anything, but, it's like my elbow just keeps itching. It's like, it's really irritating, too, like, damn. So hold on. I know my mic is pretty loud, but like I said, I'm moving around a lot. I probably should have put my jacket on before I started. My hair is long, so I keep having to pull like strands of my hair off my jacket. It's not really a jacket, it's more like a sweater thing. But I gotta be careful when wearing it, because when I did part 276, when I was laughing about that part about Skara, where I lost my mind, when I was laughing, apparently my mic was flipped the other way, and I sounded like incredibly muffled, and I didn't realize it was like that. It was probably a good idea that it was like that, because I was laughing so loud it would have blown out the sound. What killed me was that Half-Asia girl was literally getting off to Skara's energy, and then the way Paimon said, "What was that?" and like the look on Lumine's face made me die. I like how the Danger Archon Kusanali, she didn't say anything. She saw it too. I think all 3 of us saw that vision. And she didn't say anything at all. She was completely quiet. She was like, "That's not what that is." She's like, "This isn't no Satyavada life. This is psychoticness." Alright, so man, my mic cord is still turning. I had just unplugged it to try to unwind it, and now it's like it's fucking twisting again. Oh my god. I'm also eating chocolate in the background. So if you want to know what the hell that is, it's me trying to open a candy bar. Alright, so like I was saying, I left off in the middle of a dungeon, and because I quit the game, I have a feeling I'm gonna have to replay through it, and I didn't get too far, luckily, and god, it is turned. I'm gonna have to unplug it again. Holy shit, that's annoying. Anyway, I didn't get too far, but I'm gonna have to replay it, and I'm not too happy about that. Like I said, I didn't get too far in it, but I kind of did. And the fact that now I'm gonna have to replay through it again, I'm not really looking forward to that. So the beginning bit, I'm gonna have to redo. Wasn't there a cooking pot over here? I guess not. Well, never mind. So in the actual last video, we fell down here and we were all protected by Dendro Archon. If my mic is making noises, because I'm moving it around. Keep having to touch it and readjust it. And when I move it, you probably hear like a shh or something. This is a new controller, so I don't have that static anymore that I used to have on my old one. It's clearer now. But every time I move the mic, you're gonna hear it. So we had already saw this, but I'll let it play again in case you didn't see the last video.
It's full of life here.
Yeah.
This defies comprehension. It looked completely desolate from the outside. Yet, it flows with energy inside.
Uh-huh.
Yeah! And there's so many plants. It's so pretty!
Sir Rahman.
Sir.
Huh? Me?
Do you see another Rahman here?
He's like, sir.
Are you mocking me? What do you mean, sir?
He could have called you, hey, son of a bitch, but...
Interpret it however you want. But there's something I'd like to draw your attention to.
Stick.
While this structure is clearly left over from the Scarlet King civilization, the energy that flows in here is that of the Dendro Archon.
Yeah, she's the one who saved us when we were engulfed in a sound vortex.
Whatever you say. It's not like I have a vision.
Yeah, so he can't see it.
There's nothing to be angry about. Think of this as an academic journey.
It does seem kind of strange. If that's true, then we might have to explore this whole area to find an explanation.
Well, he's a Dendro character, and so am I, so we'll be able to see that shit. So I had opened these doors. You go to walk forward, and it's like, huh. I had already did this, but like I said, I cut it off in the middle of a puzzle, and we have to redo it. I already know how to do it, so. See, I didn't get much farther than this. We went downstairs, fought some shit, and then that was it. That's the only thing that sucks, is that when it comes to playing this game, you have to make sure you have a couple hours, because if you have to like leave suddenly, and you leave in the middle of a domain, you have to start all the way over. So I'm glad I didn't get much farther than this. I'm gonna avoid them this time and see what happens. The music in here is pretty cool. Yeah!
Illusion shattered!
What the fuck?
A touch of frost!
Oh, this just in, I cannot fight, I'm an idiot.
Springboard! Shine down!
What was that?
Now you shall perish! There is no escape!
Got attacked by like a water jellyfish.
Propagate!
Stop. Stop it.
From whence you came!
Illusion shattered!
He didn't even drop anything. Okay. So I don't know what kind of puzzles are in here. I really hope it's not something complicated. But usually when it comes to story-driven things in this game, they don't make it too hard, because like if you can't do it and you don't understand it, then it's like impossible to play. There are some puzzles in their games when it comes to world quests anyway, that have been like, what the fuck? Like, you really need to know what you're doing. But this shouldn't be a problem. That first puzzle that I did, I figured that one out by chance. Okay. This is them just flexing their, for Mona's temple, in one of the earlier stories, they had like some crazy shit like this. This is basically them trying to show that off again. Do I go this way? Oh. Is the treasure alive? Huh? Do I go here? the door it opens like on her side, and it's like really hard to see where I go. Guess I've got to check every corner. Okay, what is this? Alright. Okay. I guess I fight them to open the elevator? Oh. I tried to throw my bear, I can't.
Shine down!
The cooldown on that should have already been down. Why is it still going? Watch me like, cannot. Okay. Should I have waited? Shit. Oh.
There is no escape!
A touch of frost.
Okay, I guess I was supposed to do that. Alright, before I go, is there anything else? I don't know. I came from there, so hold on. Yeah. I ran into it. Couldn't see. Okay. Do I bring it back down, I guess? I guess I sent it up and I wasn't supposed to. Wait, is this a time-based thing? Am I supposed to hit it and then jump on it? Or no? Why would they make it that absurd? Alright, I guess I'm supposed to be here. Hold on, I can't check that just yet. Ow, come on.
Torn to oblivion! Shine down!
Spirit blade. Attack.
Okay, all my buffs faded. I've been in here for a while. Alright, a lot of this music reminds me... Does anybody remember the Swordmaster mode in Soul Calibur 2? The Egyptian areas? When you'd come up to like the crypts and shit. Like the Egyptian like crypts. I always used to like those stages a lot. They were fun. Come on.
Illusion shattered!
Swift and merciful.
There is no escape!
Yeah, but that cooldown's taking a little bit longer in here.
One with my blade.
Jump on it as it's going up. That's what I thought. I literally had just said that. There's a hidden floor? Oh, fuck. Like this? Oh no, I was supposed to be up there. Hold on. Hold on a minute. Of course not. I get what it's saying, but hold on. Will it crush her? I see it, but do they mean jump on the top of it? Hold on. I know what it wants me to do, but I'm trying to figure it out. I think I need to be on the top part. I know what it wants. So do this. Send it down. Okay. Wait for it to go all the way down. Its heart's so blue I can barely see it. Okay, then push it to come up again and jump on it. Like this. Okay. Do you come here to play with me? Let us play. Oh my god! Right in the face.
Shine down!
I'm in a domain, I can't. Oh god. I was gonna look at something. I still find it weird that she's voiced by 2B. If I remember correctly, she also voices Jillian in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Yeah, I don't get anything at 50, or do I? I have enough to do it, but that's gonna screw up Hazo, because Hazo needs these. Ah, fuck. Because he went from needing 2 more to needing 4 more. I screwed him up. Why are you so loud? Stop. Fucking stop. I will slap the shit out of you. I clicked it by accident.
My blade.
Nice and spicy.
Now you shall perish. Illusion shattered.
Come on.
Propagate. Ha! You're toast.
From whence you came, one
Oh my god. Alright. Some kind of a puzzle here. Was I supposed to do that? Huh? What? What? Do I go in it again?
That's a sight to see. The Scarlet King's splendor surrounds us.
There's so much vegetation here. It's different than what I expected.
Sure are a lot of plants for a desert.
That's what I call divine providence of the Scarlet King.
You mean the Dendro Archon? The Dendro Archon creates plants and shit. Oh my god. Wait. Wait, wait, wait. Ah! No. Oh. This was that same song that played when I was in a dream. This can't be that Irminsul tree, is it? What the? No, because it was bigger. There's floating, melting purple. Okay.
It's getting brighter! Oh, it looks so beautiful!
It is pretty. But where? How are we going? Wow. That's why they got rid of the HUD, to make it look prettier. Some shit's gonna happen. I'm frozen. Oh, I'm Shanling. Why am I Shanling? Probably because she said it's my leader, but why? Why would they switch me like that?
Wait,
Why? What?
what's that?
Huh? It's an Ubis.
A load of flowers! And it looks like there's something among them.
Looks like a tomb.
These are Scarlet King runes.
These are the chocolate I'm trying to get into.
They left something behind. Yes. It's an elegy written in an ancient script.
What does it say?
It says, "Get the hell out. You're too good for my beauty. My beauty's too good for you."
Here lies our faithful priest Kasala. His wisdom is a miracle among the people, deserving of high praise and admiration.
You can read ancient Scarlet King script?
Of course. Every student needs to master at least 20 languages before they graduate.
He's not serious, right?
There's still something off about this place. The elemental energy here is too concentrated.
So we're all different elements. I'm currently Dendro, so is all Aethum. Sino's Electro, and Dia's Pyro. So how's that gonna work?
The scent of life. Is it trying to tell us something?
Is this it?
Analyzing.
There seems to be a hidden message among these skeletal remains. Excellent. There's a device from the Scarlet King's civilization in this gravesite. I'll transmit the information over and project it for everyone to see.
Isn't sharing knowledge against the Academia's rules?
Yes. However, under the circumstances, I'd prefer you to see this for yourself. You'll understand after watching it.
So there's people who keep theorizing that he's an android or a cyborg or some shit. Because he has a jewel in the middle of his chest, which, how would you put that on unless you glued it to your skin? And then the things on both of his ears and that tube that wraps around from his waist up over his shoulder to his ear, to his left ear. I think it's just a fancy device. Other people keep speculating that that's his real ears, that he's not human. I don't really give a shit either way. Okay. Show me.
Civilization is born of knowledge, but so too can knowledge be its demise. A disaster caught us unaware. It was knowledge that did not belong to this world. The Scarlet King brought this forbidden knowledge into our world, and it quickly spread like a plague. People's minds were filled with crazed whispers. Dark gray scales spread across their bodies. Even the land was stripped of its vigor. Only a desperate, deathly silence remained. Were it not for greater Lord Rukkhadevata from the forests, the damage would have been irreversible. She summoned the priests to build temples and infused into them the divine power of life. The disaster was miraculously tempered, and the embers of our civilization were preserved in our village. Alas, the miracle could not last. As long as forbidden knowledge continued to exist, it would forever blight this world. In the end, the proud king of the desert, my eternal lord, chose to sacrifice himself. I have spent my whole life since guarding one of these many temples. But now, my duty is coming to an end. As I close my eyes for the final time, the sight of that noble deity will appear in my vision once more. In helping the Scarlet King to eradicate forbidden knowledge, she exhausted her strength, and her form became that of a small child. How strange. Now that I think of her, I no longer have any fear of death, for I sense that the spirit of life will abide with me during my eternal sleep. Children of the desert, cling no longer to past grievances, but hold tight to the memory of this act of benevolence.
So Ruka Devata is really Kusanali?
The priest's memories.
No, impossible.
Greater Lord Ruka Devata. So the former Dendro Archon and the Scarlet King were never enemies at all.
They both sacrificed themselves to save the desert. That's what it looks like to me.
But this doesn't make any sense. The Dendro Archon's followers, they're clearly...
Was that the former Dendro Archon? She became so tiny in the end.
Creator Lord Wuddha came to the rescue of the king and his people, but eradicating the forbidden knowledge took so much of her power. The two deities' followers have resented each other all this time, completely unaware that their gods stuck by each other through life and death.
You might be distrustful of the Akasha, but there's no reason for you to doubt the Scarlet King's technology.
I can't read, so I'm eating like this chocolate and it's really thick. It's like all in my mouth, so when I'm trying to talk, I can't, because I'm like...
You've just witnessed his priest's last words.
So what do you want now, desert dweller?
I've never heard about any of this before.
Well, now I hope you're a changed man, you sumbitch.
The surviving followers of the Scarlet King all gathered in Aru village. Our god did not make mistakes. We refused to believe any of the rumors. The Scarlet King's death, the all but total annihilation of our civilization. It was all Greater Lord Ruka Devata's doing. We saw her as nothing more than a traitor, who stabbed us in the back in our moment of crisis. Just like us humans. Fighting, feuding, double-crossing each other to survive in the desert.
You were blinded by your prejudice.
If I hadn't seen this for myself, if I hadn't witnessed his last words with my own eyes, ears, and heart, how could I ever begin to accept this? The truth is so far from what I've always known. Am I really supposed to believe that after all these years, all this time seeking revenge, suddenly now my enemy is my savior?
Raman, that's enough. Give it a rest. You're starting to make a fool of yourself.
Dia, tell me, my Aramites and I, what are we even fighting for?
Raman takes some time to collect his thoughts, while the rest of the party continues to the temple, reacting to strange belief. Okay.
Hey, how you doing?
I'll live. Thanks. I should probably go. Can't just stay here forever.
What's your next move gonna be?
Oh, I know what you're going to ask. I feel deeply ashamed of everything I've done. You'll get everything you're asking for, but please give me some time. After everything that's happened here today, somehow I need to explain it to the others.
It's not gonna be easy.
Well, I guess that's for me to deal with. Dia, this is where our camp's located. Make a note of it.
When would be a good time for us to go?
Tomorrow, I'll convince everyone that we're all on the same side. And I'll return every last one of your your village keepers. We'll share our other resources with you, too.
You seem to finally understand that our true enemy is the sages.
Yes. The gods never gave up on anyone. It's the people responsible for all this that need to face the consequences of their actions.
Yeah, the sages were the ones who made up that
That must
lie.
have been rough. But he seems to have figured things out now.
Ramon's no fool. Being the leader of your own faction in the desert is no easy feat. It's too bad he was held back by his belief in the Scarlet King. But now that that's changed, I guess we have a few more people on our side.
This is a turn for the better.
The outcome, at least, is favorable.
We should get going too. Let's head back, have a proper meal, and a nice long sleep. We'll need all our energy tomorrow. Sino, we're leaving!
Why is Paimon waiting for Sino and not me? The fuck?
Stop yelling.
What the fuck? Why am I her? Stop. It was untextured. It's still untextured. Now it's texturing. What the fuck? Oh, I can't get up here. Well, the fucking lag, bro. Why is it lag so bad when I stand next to this thing? Do you see it? My frame rate is going to shit. I guess it's having to render each fucking falling petal so hard that it's like, we can't render it if you're close. Gonna need you to have to back the fuck up. Alright, I guess I'll go. I guess I'll just leave. Guess I'll get on up out of here. Well, that couldn't have been it. There has to be more to that quest, you would think. Huh? Can I teleport out of here? This isn't considered a domain anymore, so... Okay. Literally. Let's see how this goes down. How is he going to convince all of his men?
Ramon, we're here.
Everything's been arranged. Someone will bring the village keepers back to our village shortly.
I guess all I can say now is thanks for agreeing to help.
Don't mention it. I think we can both agree you went to hell and back for it. But we share a common cause now. From here on out, we're allies.
Where are the perpetrators?
I'll bring you to them. Follow me.
What the fuck?
So these are the people who kidnapped the village keepers.
Oh no, it's the scribe!
There's no need to yell. No one can help you now.
That sounds wrong.
We've been all over the desert trying to find you!
That's right.
Sino, what are you doing? The Mahamatra, oh my god!
General Mahamatra? No, no! Make it quick, please! Swift and painless!
Whoa. The moment they set eyes on Sino, they turned pale like they've seen a ghost!
Well, he is kind of fucking imposing, dude. Can you imagine running into him in a dark temple at night with only flames to light the way on the walls and you just see his fucking shadow creep up behind you? Fuck.
You should have known that I would be coming for you.
Wait, we were just following orders. You know what I'm talking about, right? There's no way we could have done all this by ourselves.
Does he have little stars on his anklets? What the fuck is that?
No, not Sino. He's gonna tear us limb from limb.
What is that voice?
I could do worse.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Please have mercy.
Start talking. Otherwise, I'll have to resort to other methods.
Like breaking and cutting off your fingers one by one and then making you eat them.
So, your superiors have kept you quite busy recently.
Why?
Why? What are they trying to accomplish?
Oh, you know Husbando Zhongli's brother. Everything.
They, wanted to extract canned knowledge.
What is that voice?
Don't play dumb. You know what I'm really asking. They extract divine canned knowledge. Then what?
They put it into Skara.
I really don't know how to explain it.
Well, you better start talking or you'll be sorry!
You don't want to make things any more difficult for yourself, do ya?
Be my guest.
May I ask a question? The sages are trying to create a new god, aren't they? They're trying to use Skara. I know him. Where is he?
Uh-huh. That sure didn't sound like a fancy metaphor or anything. You're serious, aren't you?
How did you know?
I know
He's hiding
him.
it now. Yes, you're right. The Academia is working on an important and potentially world-changing project. They are creating a new god. A god that will belong to them and to the people of Sumeru. It may seem as if Sumeru's academics are thriving, but ever since the death of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, scholarly breakthroughs have been few and far between. The withering of Irminsul has been getting worse recently. The sages have tried everything they could think of, but nothing's worked. I'm always hearing them say things like, if only Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was still with us.
Continue.
And then, someone from the Fatui showed up. They called him the Doctor. He brought a gnosis and said he wanted to borrow the Academia's research facilities. The Doctor was previously expelled from the Academia. At first, the sages looked down at him in disdain. But when he said those words, everyone's expression changed. He asked them, do you wish to create a god?
This is what the arrogant ignorance at the extreme end of academia looks like.
First, the Academia spent a long time constructing a divine vessel, which was based on an exquisite humanoid puppet. After that, they harvested dreams via the Zeb-Zerus Festival Samsara, maximizing the Akasha's output. With the Doctor's help, and the Akasha now functioning at maximum efficiency, they were able to use it to extract the power from the Gnosis and convert it into a divine core. Next, they decided that their new god needed to possess divine wisdom. For that to happen, they needed a huge quantity of divine canned knowledge.
It adds up.
But how do you determine whether the knowledge extracted is of divine origin?
Call it an educated guess? The Academia has been trying to figure out the exact source of the Scholar's madness for centuries, but to no avail. Nobody can explain the cause of this phenomenon. Surely you can see what that implies, Scribe Al-Haytham. If it's knowledge no mortal can comprehend, then it must be something only gods are able to decipher. In other words, it's the source of the God of Wisdom's omniscience and omnipotence.
But the sages' end product won't be Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. It will be the Balladeer.
You must have noticed by now. The Academia doesn't care about who their god is. It's the ability to exercise control over knowledge and wisdom that matters. It is as if they are cursed with a desire for omniscience and omnipotence that burns in their blood. Some organisms demonstrate phototaxis, and thus orient their entire lives in respect to sources of light. For the sages, their only source of hope is the existence of a deity who embodies the acme of wisdom. This is but a form of phototaxis. For many scholars, the absence of a god of wisdom means stumbling in the darkness for the duration of their lives.
Then what does Lesser Lord Kusanali mean to you? Is she not a true god present in this world? If you already have a new god, why try to create another one?
From the beginning, the Academia has never treated her as a god. When the Academia first discovered Lesser Lord Kusanali, the newborn god of wisdom, the sages hoped that she would be as wise as Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. But upon evaluation, they found that at the time she possessed no more intelligence than any ordinary human child. The sages never had a ruder awakening. This forced them to accept that Greater Lord Ruka Devata had indeed passed away. Not to mention that Lesser Lord Kusanali's gnosis had been used to power the Akasha this entire time. By herself, she has neither an Archon's raw power, nor the spectacular insight expected of a god of wisdom. Slowly but surely, people began to forget about her existence.
So, this is the path the sages have chosen.
Even now, they still refuse to acknowledge her. I never imagined a god could be subjected to such cruelty.
Alright, let's try to keep our cool. If everyone's in a bad mood, then let's change up our scenery.
Yeah, throw some fucking flowers around.
Raman, give me a few men to help us escort the village keepers back to the village. And these two scholars, they're coming too.
Sure, as you wish.
Yeah, but Kusanali is trapped by the Dr. Itode. So, like, how do we get her back? I also do think that theory is dumb. It's like, he ain't gonna be your god. He's gonna still be the fucking puppet. And if you actually pay attention to what A says, she's like, I created Skara, but I have no intention of releasing my control over him. So even though in his story thing says that she betrayed him, she actually sealed his powers and set him free because she said she felt that she owed him more. So by sealing his powers and letting him free, she basically was trying to give him free will of his own. She didn't want to control him as a puppet or a doll. That's why she sealed his powers in the first place. And she set him free into Inazuma because she wanted him to live like a normal human. That was the whole reason why she did it. But he thought that by her doing that she didn't care about him, like she was abandoning him. But that wasn't it at all. If you listen to a line that she says, I don't know where it is. She has a line where she's like, I did make him, but I don't want to let him go. Right here.
He came about as a byproduct of creating the Shogun. Perhaps it's because I feel like I owe him something, but I do not wish to assert control over him.
See what I mean? She literally says that right there. She says she feels that she owes him something by creating him because he was a prototype, but she didn't actually want to use him for that because she has the other doll who looks just like her that was kind of created in her sister Makoto's image. And she feels closer to the female puppet because it was what her twin sister Makoto used to be like, which is why that one is being used instead of him. She wanted to try something different, which is why she created him as a male. But even so, she felt that because he was called into being, he was basically brought to life, basically like her child, I guess you can say that. She did create him. She didn't want to, like, destroy him. She wanted him to live. So, she set him free. But he didn't see it that way. Then he got betrayed by the three humans. He got betrayed. First he says he got betrayed by her when she sealed his powers and set him free. Then he got betrayed by someone he knew at the blacksmith, which is how he met Kazuha, but that's not told yet. But because everybody in Inazuma is all tied in the blacksmith, that's why a lot of other characters have the exact same symbol on their swords, like Kazuha. Ayaka and Ayato have the same symbol when they sheath their sword, and so does Shinobu. Because it's a trait of anyone who lives in Inazuma. Anyone who studies in blacksmithery, when it comes into the Ishin arts or the other arts, they're all a byproduct of each other. And they all descend from her sword style, which is why they all have like that electro crest on them. Because she's kind of like the mother of that sword style, 'cause it's her nation. So he was there, and then he got betrayed by that guy, and then he went somewhere else and was friends with a little child, and I guess the child promised that he would wait for him, because the kid was dying. And he didn't have any parents, which is why Skara said, I found another one who was the same as me. He had no mother, no father, and he was alone, basically abandoned. But the little kid died, I guess, of some kind of an illness, and promised that he would wait for Skara to return before he died, but he died before Skara returned, so that's why he said he broke his promise to me. And then that's what turned him like psycho evil, and then he joined the Fatui, and then they turned him into what he is now. It's kind of really depressing if you get into the whole lore of the characters, which I actually do. So let's see if she does that sword thing. puts it away on the side. You see that circle right there? Every character in Inazuma that is a sword character has that. Anyone from there. That's why Ayato and Ayaka also do it. I don't have those characters, but you can actually look at their character directories. I don't know when he'll do it, but any character from there has that. Are you going to pull out the boba tea, or are you going to do the sword thing? Because that's literally what it looks like. Okay, his should be on his side. There it is. Okay, so he has it, and his sister, where is she? Where the fuck are you? I don't know why they put her next to Kazuha. That bothers me. Let's see if she'll do it. So anybody from there, they have that symbol. Okay.
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
There it is. Kazuha... he was right next to her. I'm an idiot. He doesn't do it because he puts his sword away and it disappears behind him with like particles. But when you play as him though, he has a sword sheathing attack where he does do it. But see, his is different because he just puts it away behind him. But his actual play animation, I don't have him, so can't show it to you. But I think it's his drop move. If you're hovering, gliding, and then you drop, and I think you hit triangle. Is it triangle? It might be this one. He'll do it. Yeah, it can be used in midair. Chihaya, yeah, it's that one. I can't show it to you, but yeah, great. They all have it. They're from that sword cell, and that was taught from that blacksmith, and that's where Skara was. So it's believed that that's actually how he knows him. The game doesn't tell you that yet, but I don't have Skara, I don't have Kazuha, so I can't show you. He has a thing that he says. Where he's like, yeah, I know him. But because I don't have him, I can't show you that directory. And I think you can only find out certain things about characters like that once you have a certain friendship level anyway. Like friendship level 4, you get to know more of the characters' backgrounds and secrets, and you get to know what they think about other characters. I think you have to get it to 4 and past 4 to find out what they think of each character, what they think of people. But that story's depressing, though. It's like it's sad, because like he thinks that the Electro Archon abandoned him, but she actually didn't. She just wanted him to live his life as a normal human boy, even though he's not technically human. He was created as a doll. But she still saw him as a child and saw him as her son, and she only wanted the best for him. But he just thought she betrayed him, which kind of sent him down the wrong path. So I guess you could say it's kind of her fault.
The village keepers you found have all been returned to their homes, and each one has a dedicated caregiver to look after them. The 2 new scholars are being kept under close supervision, too. Really great work, everyone.
The atmosphere is so heavy.
It's hard not to feel weighted down by what we just learned. Despite everything Lesser Lord Kusanali has done for her people, the Academia has abandoned her in the sanctuary Suranastana, like a lost cause. Even though she's protected, Even though she's protected, have never realized that even though she's protected, that's where I was going wrong. I was skipping a word. Wasn't making sense. Even though those she's protected have never realized there's such a small and childlike God in the world.
Hey! Say something! Stop spacing out!
Come on, is there nothing left to talk about? In that case, let's all get some water and try to think about something else.
Or I can go fetch some snacks.
Oh, Paimon's so coming with you!
Do you have any plans, traveler?
Gods above, you're not talking about work, are you?
I want to share everything I know with all of you about Skara.
So you were still withholding some information?
I'm sorry, I had my reasons. Between the conversations, Candace and Paimon bring over snacks and tea. Dia's expression is relaxed, as if her mood hasn't been affected by the heavy conversation at all. Sino has a firm and solemn expression in his face. Looks like he's made up his mind about something. The core of his beliefs is motivation to pursue the right of action. Alhaitham turns towards the crowd he wants to listen to. After the whole story comes out... Okay, I read faster than I can say, so you'll have to pause it.
All of this firsthand, it still feels super surreal to hear you talk about it again.
That's everything we've experienced so far in Sumeru.
What a whirlwind of a story. I felt like I was holding my breath the whole time.
It seems like there will be more issues to face in the days ahead than I'd anticipated.
Yeah, I read faster than I can speak like that. If I try to speak as fast as I read, I sound retarded. So, you might have to just pause it and reread it yourself. Because this is a YouTube video, you can pause that. Sino agrees.
Still, now's a good time to make our next move. Now that Ramon's joined us, we'll be an even stronger team.
It's time to make a plan.
Indeed. These events are a flagrant transgression of the rules in every sense. We cannot allow it to continue.
So, everyone, are we on the same page?
Crush the sages and rescue our god. That is our ultimate goal.
I will do my utmost.
Well, let's brainstorm a little more about what other resources we can draw on.
The next time we gather here, we must have a solid plan.
Yep, it'll work out for sure.
That's what you always say. Well, if the Dendro Archon's Gnosis has been powering the Akasha, then her Gnosis isn't of any good to anyone, is it? That's probably why the other ones don't want it. They're like, what the fuck am I gonna do with that? Da 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 da. Great. What am I at?
Don't rush. This is a big undertaking, and the planning and preparation for what lies ahead will no doubt take some time. Take it slowly. We need to make sure the plan is as effective as possible.
He's starting to read his book again. Hey, are you even listening?
Would you like me to lend you something to read?
No way. Your books aren't quite to Paimon's tastes.
I was joking. I know my books are far too difficult for you, and I have no intention of lending them out.
Ugh, you're so annoying.
What? What does it want? What do you want? Yeah, alright. Gimme. Wrong. I didn't mean to do that. I did unlock it though. Shut the fuck. Well, we're probably gonna have to wait a while. Once they do story quests like this, it's kinda... Yeah, I'll do it. Hold on. Hello?
You must let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Though I cannot leave our village, I can't help but feel stirred when I see the looks in your eyes. I've never felt as roused as this when fighting alone in the past. I suppose this must be the power of camaraderie.
Alright. You're gonna go do Sino's thing now.
The past few days have been some of the most challenging work I've ever taken on, and none of it'll earn me a single mora. I can't believe it.
Look on the bright side, Dia. Maybe we'll get a huge reward after this is all over.
You've got a point. Hey, what would you do if you woke up tomorrow with more money than you could ever spend?
Be wondering how I got it?
Paimon will buy boatloads of tasty snacks.
That's it?
And maybe some tasty drinks as well?
How adorable. Well, here's to all our indulgent fantasies. If there's a chance they can come true, I'll give it my best shot. And here's hoping that everything we do from now on will change this world for the better.
Good luck with that.
In the past, I never imagined that even the gods could suffer from hardship. If we can find a way to change all of this, will this nation become a better place?
Maybe. Your memory is superior. Yeah, so usually when these story quests happen, you have to wait like another month or two before they add out the next version. But they've been adding the version updates really quickly, and because the Venti's banner ends in like 7 days, usually they let a banner run, and once that banner is over, a new story comes out. And I've been noticing the days have gotten shorter. Normally banners used to last for 30 days, and lately they've only been lasting for like 20 or 16. I think when Venti's came out it was 16. 'Cause it came out a week ago, and we're already down to like 7 days left, I think. So the banners have been getting shorter. Like, you don't have as much time anymore. See, 6 days. And it was originally at like 16. And it came out when I was working. It came out that Tuesday. So then, yeah. It has been about... Yeah, it has been about 10 days since then. About 10, 11 days. So yeah, it really... His banner doesn't seem to last as long anymore. Let me make sure Sinos is active. Yeah. Okay. I need to do my commission quest, though. Let's see. I mean, it's still early. I can probably do them later. It's only 8 something, so... I need to go... The academia. Yeah, I should be able to talk to her now, because that thing's over with. We can do Sino's story quest, but the only thing is these quests are usually like 3 hours long. When it comes to main Archon quests, since I had did 6 parts on this, the first part didn't really count, so technically, yeah, they're about 6 hours long. And when it comes to story quests for characters, they're usually about 3 or 2.5, depending on what it has you do. It's good to see you again. I've got an urgent commission I'd like to give you to. The commissioner is a Mondstadt merchant who is currently in our village. According to him, his associate and the sumpter beast they've leased out to the academia researcher have been missing in the desert for a while now. He's hoping that a highly experienced adventurer could take this commission and confirm the status of his associate and the beasts. You're both highly experienced adventurers, so a commission like this should be a cinch for you, I hope. Missing in the desert. That certainly is worrying. Okay. Commission is named okay. What is that about?
Ad Astra.
So she's a doll, so she was, technically when she got killed, she was just replaced. Oh, she gives you more money. That's what she does. I was like, what does she do? Well, that's a weird quest, though. Huh. No, seriously, what the fuck? You get 40 if you complete it. They're trying to bait me. Well, they are trying to help me out. I do need... I mean, I want to try to get Sino and Venti, but it's kind of hard when I'm trying to get them both at the same time. And... yeah, it's pretty difficult. That happened to me on Kazuha's banner. I got, like, everyone else on the banner except for the main character, and it was absurd, but... that's just the way it is. Besides, trying to get both of them, that's asking a little much. Well, I've wanted Venti for a long time. I don't know if I'll get him, though. Even if I did, I don't really care for both characters. He would just be there. Sino, I mean, I don't know if I would be able to use him in my party either, since my party is pretty solid. Like, the top 3 characters never, ever really change. The only one I change out is the 4th one, which is the slot that she's in right now. Where am I supposed to go? Up behind it? Or inside of it? Have I ever been in here before? No, I haven't.